Word. While we wait for others, does anyone want to share anything that they're looking forward to with the new weather shifting? Nobody want to share? I'm looking forward to
What's the
Mother's
question?
Day.
Sorry, what's the question, Cindy? I just joined. The
No, it's
surprise.
okay. I was just saying, while we wait for others to join, did anyone want to share anything they're looking forward to with the season shifting?
I'm looking forward to being able to wear like my little lighter clothes. Getting out this big old puffy coat that I have.
Okay, I understand. I hear that. I'm looking forward to Mother's Day. My brother relocated to Cleveland, and we haven't visited him since, and we'll be heading over there for Mother's Day weekend.
Nice, nice. Enjoy.
Thank you. Anyone else? Someone mentioned something in the chat. No more snow. Okay, I can't agree with you with that because I love snow. I love the winter, but I understand. I understand. I understand. Just a couple of more minutes, 2 more minutes, and we'll get started. Okay. Thank you for those who've joined us so far. Hello. Hello. I think you're all going to enjoy tonight's presentation. I am so happy once Miss Stephanie was able to do it because I've been trying to get her to do it for a while now, and it was happy that we were able to fit in her schedule. In the meantime, you can drop your name in the chat so I can enter you in for the raffle gift card at the end of the meeting. Just one more minute before we get started. Okay, so we can get started. So, most of you already know, but I'm going to share. My name is Cindy with the East Lappage Community Partnership, and you are here for Open Door, which is our virtual resource connection. We do once a month. And I was saying earlier, if anyone just is just joining, please drop your name in the chat so we can enter you for the raffle gift card towards the end. I apologize. I was supposed to update this part. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. But we usually go through welcome remarks, partnership overviews, program updates. We have a great presentation from True's Healthy Life, and then we'll always end as we do with the gift card raffle. Just to share about the partnership, we perform as a hub in the community, connecting families to resources and also just helping them navigate the social services system. Some of our monthly meetings consist of Open Door, which you're attending right now, which takes place on the second Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. virtually. And then we also have our general meeting. This meeting is hosted in person and virtually via Zoom. We are in person at the location, My Time Inc. This flyer needs to be updated. My Time Inc., which is 640 Parkside Avenue, is from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the fourth Thursday of each month. We welcome you to join us virtually or in person. We prefer in person, but virtual is an option as well. Want to share that this is weird. I think some of my updates didn't save over. But anyway, we have a family financial empowerment series that's taking place. The final workshop will be taking place on Monday, which is the 16th, I believe. It's virtual. The topic will be a deep dive in credit and credit card. I encourage you all to join us. Mr. RK, who's going to be the presenter, gives a really good presentation on credit card. You have not heard about or have someone talk about credit card the way he has, I would say. And this series just has been giving families a tool to strengthen their finances. So if you haven't joined us so far, we encourage you to join us on Monday. It's at 7 p.m. virtually. And we welcome you to join us. And now I am going to hand it over to our presenter, Miss Stephanie Boykel from Healthy Life Choice. She is a health navigator with the House of the Lord. Miss Stephanie? You should have ability to share your screen. Miss Stephanie, you're muted. And the presentation is coming through.
All right, good evening, everyone. So very happy to be here. So as Cindy mentioned, I wear two hats. I'm Minister Stephanie Bookall, and I'm also Chef Steph. So I work for Choose Healthy Life. It's an organization which basically was birthed during the COVID times because the the founders came together and realized that in our communities that nobody was coming to save us, right? So they got together, they went to the governor, they said, listen, this is what's happening, can you give us some money, and this is what we want to do. So what they did was Choose Healthy Life is under United Way, but they are their own organization, and they have 20 churches within the 5 boroughs that have health navigators, as well as we have a few churches upstate New York, and they everyone is able to host events, health events. Most importantly, we have a great partnership with Quest Diagnostic. And the wonderful thing about that partnership is that we offer what's called a comprehensive screening. So basically, when you go to the doctor cannot afford to check off all the boxes because at the bottom, when they take your blood, because if not, the insurance companies would be after them. It's way too expensive for them to run, for them to process everyone's blood by testing for everything, your thyroid, your heart, all your cholesterol levels, your glucose levels, and your liver levels. So they're not going to do it. Now, unless you have some sort of family history, then they would, or you have some sort of condition that they have seen some irregularities, so then they would test for those things. But other than that, they're not going to do it. So our partnership with Quest Diagnostic allows us to offer this comprehensive screening for free. We don't take anyone's health insurance information, And when you get your results online within 2 days, as well as they send you a very nice color-coded booklet that explains all of the results. So that's one of the best things about the partnership that we have with this organization, that we're able to offer this. And this test has literally saved lives. The test itself, if I were to put a dollar amount on it, it's about $900 to $1,000 per person for them to do the test. But as I said, we do not, it is for free. So all the churches that are involved, they're allowed to offer this, what's called a blueprint for wellness. They're allowed to offer it twice a year for our contract. And so I actually have one coming up on April 11th, which I have sent Cindy the information, and I asked her to, pass it on, as well as I'll be having a mammogram screenings, and also prostate screenings. But if people are not able to come out to the health events that we may have at the church or a location, we also have the opportunity to send people to the nearest quest, nearest to their home, at their own convenience, so that they can get this wonderful screening done. So that's a little bit about Choose Healthy Life. And I am also a chef. I have my own catering business. It's called Starting Fresh Catering. And today, what I want to talk to you guys about is eating by color, right? So a lot of times people, they eat different foods, and they may not necessarily know all the health benefits. So I always recommend to people that you want to eat by color, right? So the first color that I want to talk to you about, so we're going to talk about the rainbow, pretty much. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys briefly about is the red foods. So if anyone on here, and I think you should be able to see the pictures, I'm sure everyone on here has at least tried one of these red foods. And there are some foods that are on these lists that may not necessarily be red in color, but they are, in terms of lycopene. So that's one of the main reasons why you want to consume any foods that are red. It's because of the lycopene. And so people, watermelon, tomatoes, red bell peppers are things that people typically think of when they think about eating red food or something that has lycopene. So lycopene is basically, it's a powerful antioxidant. And you find it, again, and that's what, in terms of the color, you find it in these particular foods. And you're going to hear me repeat quite a bit that some of the key benefits for some of these foods, it's repetitive in terms of it improves your heart health. Definitely good for your skin protection against like UV damage, which nowadays, it's important that they tell us to wear sunscreen like all the time. Like it should be part of your daily routine, something that have not been really great with, but because of the UV rays. And so you want to protect your skin against the UV damage, because it, of course, can potentially cause cancer. But it supports your heart. So heart health, you have your cholesterols, you have your LDL cholesterols. And again, unless anyone on here is a very young person that has not gone to the doctor and gotten certain reports, your LDL is your bad cholesterol, and then you have your HDL, which is supposedly your good cholesterol. And so, the red foods can help you to manage your blood pressure, so that you don't want to be at risk of strokes or heart disease. So that's the basics of red foods. And the red pepper, by the way, you also have, and the watermelon, you also have high in vitamin C. So you want to consume, especially in these times that we're living in. I feel like there's a virus that comes along like every other day. I'm waiting for them to run out of names for these viruses, but the vitamin C is what is going to help your system. The less inflammation that you have is going to be better for protecting you from. Once we have inflammation, that's when we're susceptible to all of these various, crazy diseases, as well as, the inflammation in your head, in the brain. So you get, dementia, inflammation in your legs, inflammation all over. And so you want to have these foods that's going to help to reduce that inflammation. Next slide. So I mentioned a little bit about vitamin C. And so here we have our orange foods. Now, orange foods, great and high in vitamin C, as well as, carrots are known for the beta carotene, so which is good for the eyes. So you want to try some carrots, oranges, sweet potatoes, mangoes. Now, the only thing about all of these fruits and vegetables is that you want to be careful. People decide to live healthier lives and switch over to eating fruits and vegetables, which is wonderful. But they forget that fruits and vegetables also have natural sugar. So when your body is processing sugar, whether you took a tablespoon of brown sugar or white sugar, or you ate an orange, sugar is sugar. At the end of the day, that's the way your body is going to process it. So when consuming these types of foods that are higher in sugar, you want to be a little bit careful, so that you don't, especially if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, you want to be careful because you don't want to spike your sugar levels. And in addition, when you have the beta carotene, as it says, your body can also convert it into vitamin A, and that's going to definitely help to strengthen your immune system. One of the vegetables they did not mention on here is what I'm holding here, which is orange beets. And so most people know what the purple beets look like, but you may see that and you're going to bypass it in the supermarket. Something I always tell people, one of the things that you want to do is you want to try something different as many times as you can. Most of us are raised on particular things, and so we tend to eat and drink what we're familiar with. We're not, a lot of people don't want to go too far out of their comfort zone. So I was raised in a Caribbean home, so there are particular foods that I am used to, and I'm more prone to consuming. But I've traveled also all around the world to be able to eat different foods and try different fruits. And so at any given time, I'm eating, I'll go to Chinatown and I will pick up, 3 different bok choys, 2 different cabbages. Most people just know, oh, there's green cabbage, and now purple cabbage, red cabbage has become a little bit more popular. So they'll think about it. But if you see something that looks kind of strange, or like orange beets, you're like, I haven't seen that before, so I'm not familiar with it. If you are going to use beets, the best way to do beets is either you can do them raw in a salad, or you want to roast them. When you roast them, it really brings out the flavor in the beets. So that's our orange foods. Moving on to our next slide, because I want to be able to talk to you guys a little bit about juicing and the do's and don'ts, and so that you guys can see me in person making a juice. So the next color foods we're talking about is yellow foods. And while all these colors make your make your plate nice looking, right? Some things have specific qualities. So yellow foods, you want some energy, this is what you're looking for. So you have your banana. Now bananas, once again, most people think of bananas and potassium. Bananas aren't actually the food that has the highest potassium, but bananas are good for potassium. But you want to be careful. If you're making a smoothie or something, you want to use half a banana because, as I said, bananas are very high in sugar. You have your pineapple, and corn is in there. I don't really agree with eating corn. Corn is a starch, by the way. It's not a fruit or a vegetable. It's a starch. And so corn actually really doesn't have any nutritional purpose, but it does taste good. And so people, they like it. I will use it in, Caribbean people, when we make soup, we use corn. We put corn in the soup because it does give it good flavor, and people tend to like it. So, but you have your yellow peppers as well. Again, all the bell peppers, they are all rich in vitamin C, and of course, as I said, your potassium, and all of these nutrients, they're going to help with your digestion, right? And as well as, again, supporting your immune system. If I tell you all today that I probably haven't been sick in maybe I've stopped counting after like 35 years, I don't get sick. Why? Because every day I make it it's a journey for me, but I make it my business to start my day with specific things that is going to set the tone for my microbiome, aka my gut, right? So the first thing, in the morning, I'm going to consume, some sort of bush tea, not Lipton tea, right? I have lemongrass sometimes. This week I'm doing like hibiscus with cinnamon, ginger, but I always do ginger and lemon. Why? Because those things are high in vitamin C. And once I set the tone for my stomach, then after that, I give myself enough time before I eat, and then I start eating my fruits. It's great to make smoothies. It's great to juice, but if you want to feel full longer, you want to eat your fruits. That's just my recommendation. I do juicing, but I try to eat my fruits. And the fruits that I tend to try to go for are the fruits that are what you call low on the glycemic level, meaning they have limited sugar. So like berries, which is in another slide that I have, golden kiwi, all the things that are low on the glycemic level, dragon fruit. Oh, by the way, in terms of yellow, this is something else. So this is a wonderful fruit. This one is not as ripe as I'd like it to be just yet, but it will be. And this is yellow dragon fruit. There are 3 types of dragon fruit. The one that's more popular now that you can finally see in the supermarket is the one that's pink on the outside and that's white in the middle. Then there's this one that's yellow on the outside, I'm sorry, and white in the middle. This one is a little bit sweeter than the first one. The last one it's a little red on the outside, and it looks like a beet on the inside. And inside there are all these, looks like these little chia seeds. And so those are high in fiber. But again, when you think about, when I looked up a lot of photos for this slide, I noticed that there were things that it's the regular things, but I want to encourage you all to go to go outside your norm and try some other things that you have not tried before. That's really going to be great for your system. Dragon fruit is very high in antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, super high in vitamin C, higher than oranges, higher than grapefruits. So you definitely want to give it a try. Uh-oh. All right, so here we have our green foods. And when you think of green, if you notice, there's a title on all of the top of these slides, and I will share these slides with Cindy if she'd like. Because specifically when you're eating these colors, you want to think of what will it do for your system. So when you think of anything green, I want you to think of detox, when you want to detoxify your body, right? So the green foods, the ones that they promote most would be your spinach, your broccoli, kiwi, avocado is in there. And why green? Because these green vegetables and fruits, they're high in um, iron. So many people are anemic, and the first thing they tell you to do is just start taking iron pills, but everyone can't take iron pills. Iron pills sometimes make people nauseous, and it also will change, may change your stool to where you are not able to go to the bathroom the way you would like to. So if you drink a nice green juice or eat some of these green vegetables, then they're going to help to detoxify your body, as well as, again, support your immune system. And these foods are very nutrient dense. So of course, what wasn't on the list is what I have here, which is kale, which I am going to juice some of it to show you guys. And so again, dark green leafy vegetables, that's what you want to go with when you're thinking about detox. Next. All right, so here we have our blue foods, and I tried to do pictures where you can really see these as many of the fruits and vegetables. So you see in here fig, we have purple grapes, as well as purple plums and blueberries. And why these blue foods are wonderful is that I'm sorry, not seeing the other part of the slide.
Maybe
All
try
right, so
coming out and resharing the slide. I'm not sure. It was coming up fine earlier.
yeah, it's fine. It's okay because I had some specific notes for people to see, but it's fine. So blue foods, definitely great. It's going to boost your cardiovascular, right? As well as your brain health, and once again, immune. So you in your blue foods, you have the omega-3 fatty acids, you have your iron, your zinc, your B12. And so these nutrient dense foods are really good in helping to reduce inflammation, lower your blood pressure, and also, again, help to manage cholesterol. But when it comes to disease prevention, they regularly tell you to try to eat like blueberries, blackberries, because it can help to lower the risk of stroke, type 2 diabetes, which plagues our community because all the berries, they are very low in sugar. So you can eat more of them than you would other things and not have to worry about spiking your sugar level. And of course, we know that they are powerful antioxidants. Okay. All right, so I'm glad that this picture did have, if you notice, the dragon fruit that I mentioned before is in this photo. So that's the first photo next to the purple eggplant. By the way, when you think about eggplants, don't just think about those larger purple eggplants. There are other types of eggplants. Specifically in the Asian community, there's a long, slim, and it's a little lighter in color on the skin, not like the regular eggplant that people use to make like eggplant parmesan. And that purple eggplant, you don't have to do as much to it in terms of um, cooking it to get the bitterness out. So you can easily just soak it in like salt water, and then you can saute it and use a little bit of like light soy sauce, um, and use some garlic, but very simple. And as I said, the darker purple eggplant, a lot of times people end up not cooking them because they don't, it's a process in order to be able to, like, if you're going to make eggplant parmesan, you have to cut them up, then you have to lay them out. If you want to draw out the bitterness, you have to sprinkle some salt on it, and then so it's a bit of a process. But as I said, there's another eggplant that's easier to cook, and eggplants are really, really rich in antioxidants. Well, purple foods in general. So you have your purple grapes, your purple plums, and as well as I mentioned, the purple cabbage earlier. And so these nutrients, again, support your heart health, and they also help too, and this is something that, again, I don't see all your faces, so I don't know. I'm just going to guess that we would all like to slow the signs of aging. We'd like to turn the clock backwards. So if you want to do that, then this is the color of fruits that you want to have, fruits and vegetables, I should say, that you want to have. And in addition, the purple fruits and vegetables, they help to protect your cells from what they call oxidative stress. So the purple foods are especially good. Again, cardiovascular. In our community, the statistics for people that have strokes is one of the highest. And then now they're saying, especially in women. So you really want to try to consume, again, women, we think about us how we want to look the older we get. So this is, besides using your your special creams that they say is going to take away wrinkles and stuff. I don't know how much I really believe in that, but I definitely know that you can get all the benefits that you need through your fruits and vegetables. Next. So these are your white and brown foods, and usually when you think of white and brown, off the top of your people most times are going to think about white onions. There are various types of onions. And if you are someone that likes to cook or would like to get into cooking, you would want to try to use, depending on what you're making, then that's when you want to use the different types of onions, because it's going to give you different flavors. So you have your onions, as well as you have your brown foods, which would be like your mushrooms. You also have your garlic, and then, well, they have potatoes in here. But these are important, again, because immunity is supporting your immunity and your heart health. There is in the title of this, it says allicin, and it says anthocyanins. And, I'd like you guys to, I hope that you are taking some notes, because I know that this is a lot of information in a short period of time. But I definitely want you guys to be able to remember some of this stuff, and so that you can hopefully pass this information on. But the allicin, it basically, that's like a sulfur compound that is formed when raw garlic is crushed or chopped. So here's something else. There are things that we've been putting in the refrigerator or buying that we should not buy, because or put in the refrigerator, because when we do that, we are changing the structure of the item. We are changing the compounds, right? So we want to get the health benefits of the allicin, because we want to improve our heart health. We want to lower the blood pressure, the cholesterol. We want to fight infections, cancer risk, and all of that stuff, right? But if you guys go to the store and you buy the garlic that's already peeled and it's in the refrigerated area, I need you to stop doing that, because you're not getting the benefits from your garlic once it is refrigerated. And really, peeling garlic is not really that hard. But I know that in this day and age, everybody wants to do everything very quickly, so they just go for what's easiest. But trust me when I tell you, and you can look it up. Anything that I tell you this evening, you can look it up, and it will tell you that you should not be refrigerating your garlic, nor should you refrigerate your onions. I was talking to my mom earlier, and I was telling her like some of the things, the habits that we have picked up. A lot of people that cook, you may have learned it from your mother, your aunt, your grandmother, right? But some of the things that were done back in the days, they sometimes they didn't have a choice. I mean, there was a time that there was no refrigeration, right? People save oil, to reuse it and cook again. You should never save seed, especially seeded oil, your canolas, your vegetable oils, your corn oils. You should just throw out once you finish frying that chicken or frying that fish. Do not consider using that oil again, because when you heat that oil again, it's not the same as the first time. But that's another lesson for another day. But you don't want to once you peel the onion, you should not put it in the fridge. You should just put it in a place where it's like cool or just ventilated. So don't put in like a plastic bag or anything, unless you like put a little hole in it. Of course, you don't want, wherever you put it, you're not thinking that you want your items to be everything to be smelling like onion every time you come into your kitchen. But at best, if you have a container that is like airtight, like you use any airtight containers, then you're able to save it. But what you really want to do is use everything fresh. So if you're not gonna use a big onion, then don't buy a big onion and say, I'm gonna cut it in four and use it. You want to use a smaller onion so you could use it one time. You're gonna peel the garlic, you're gonna use what you need, and then leave the rest unpeeled until you're ready to use it, and it won't go bad. So your white and brown foods, your cauliflower, your mushrooms, as I said, they will help to also for to help you in your digestive system, because it's high in fiber. And so anything high in fiber, the goal when you eat is everything that comes in must come out. Next slide. Okay. So, I hope you guys got something out of the colors of the foods that I mentioned, as well as try some other things that you haven't tried before. Go into a store that has more Hispanic fruits and vegetables. Go into a store that has more Asian fruits and vegetables. Go into a store that has more Caribbean fruits and vegetables. Not just, the usual. When I talk to people and they say, "Oh, I eat fruits. I eat strawberries, bananas, oranges. Oh, I eat vegetable. I eat broccoli and I eat some spinach, some string beans maybe." But typically people don't try to go outside of their culture. So I definitely encourage you guys to do that. So really quickly, as time is on me, does anyone have any questions about anything that I mentioned before I go on to this last quick piece for you guys?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Chef Steph. Wow, this was just so, I don't know, a great presentation. Boy, you give me a lot to think about. But I did have a few questions. The onions, when you say, because I do like onions, both my favorite is the red. However, you mentioned not to refrigerate it. Usually I refrigerate the half that I don't use because it's so difficult to find the small onions anymore. Most of the onions I see in the store, they're so huge and it's just me. So what would you suggest if I'm only going to use half an onion? Is it better to just cook it and then store it, or how does that work?
So um, it also depends. I should have also mentioned this. The way in which you cut the onion, right? So typically when people go to use the onion, they just peel the whole thing and then they cut them. Maybe they cut it in half, or they cut out a quarter of a piece. So if you don't peel off the whole thing and you just have like a piece of the onion, that you've cut one half, then you don't have to put it in the fridge. It's not going to spoil. The best way I can tell you is you'll just to try it, and that you'll see that you're not going to come back the next day and you're going to see, there's a change in the onion. But we have been putting things in the refrigerator just to try to keep them. And isn't that's kind of what a lot of these vegetable stores do.
I'm not
They
really hearing what you're
just
saying. Okay.
they refrigerate stuff just so that they could keep it longer. But the thing is that you want to use things as fresh as possible. I actually just found out recently that reheating spinach. I was talking with some doctors, and I did some other research that you shouldn't reheat spinach. Once you cook it, you need to eat it, because if not, when you reheat it, there's the chemical compound that's in it, that when you reheat it, now it changes it, and so you're no longer getting the benefits. So I'm thinking, I made spinach for 3 days, and now I'm going to be able to eat this spinach for the next 3 days, and I'm eating healthy, and yet I'm not, because I'm now reheating this spinach, and every time I reheat it, I'm losing on it. As well as most people just chuck their food into a microwave, and then that's another way that they're changing the composition of their food.
Okay. Then the last question I have is, in terms of purchasing um, fruits and vegetables, especially the fruit, everything I see is basically seedless, which I try to stay away from because that's usually genetically modified. So, what's your thoughts on that?
So I wouldn't buy more than what you could handle, right? So if you know that you're gonna be consistent for the week. So what I just took out here is my berry container. So this is my berry container for the week. And so I know for a fact that before the week is out, I'm going to eat everything that's in here, right? Let me just show you. So in here I have my hand. All right.
Oh, I like
So
that
in here
container.
I have my strawberries, my blackberries, my blueberries, my gooseberries, and this is called kiwi berry. So what these are little kiwis, but they're called kiwi berries, and they come from New Zealand.
Mm.
Miss Stephanie,
So
we can't really see the kiwi berries. Can you show them again? I think they're at the front of the
sure,
container a little bit.
sure, no problem. Actually, let me do this.
And
You
then
can
we'll
tell
have
us where you got that container from.
and
I
then George and Gilda, you can guys can go next.
I ordered it from I think I ordered it from Amazon if I'm not mistaken. But all right, so let's see. So can you see the kiwi berries?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
They're cute.
So they're really delicious. They're sweet. And so, but I have this container and I have found that once I took the berries out of the plastic containers, because I try not to keep stuff in plastic, then I put on the top, right? And then it stays much longer. They don't spoil as fast.
Mhm.
So yes, this is just one of the ways I'm able to but don't buy more than you're going to use. A lot of times when people get on this, I'm going to eat healthy, especially the beginning of the year, I'm going to change the way I eat. And then they just go in the supermarket and start buying everything. I try to buy only what I know I'm going to use for now, because what we cannot afford to do is throw away stuff, because they're not paying us enough money.
Mm.
And so we barely surviving as it is, right? So who wants to waste food? And as these gas prices continue to go up, so will your food prices. So
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi, I'm Gilda. I have a question because you said not to store garlic and onions, and I think you said potatoes. Well, I'm not sure. In the refrigerator. My apartment is extremely hot. I'm afraid that things will start to sprout because it's hot year round. I mean, I spend all winter in t-shirts and little capris, and I'm not complaining because I hate to be cold, but I'm wondering if I start storing things outside of the fridge, how long will they last in this really hot apartment? I'm not exaggerating.
I think we all want to come stay with you because
Look, short sleeves.
Got an extra room?
That's my issue as well. Same issue.
What do you
so
suggest?
yes, you're right about not wanting it to start sprouting, but again, here's the thing. You don't want to buy anything. So I know typically we buy a bag of potatoes, right? And we're like, okay, I'm going to use that bag until it's done. And then 2 weeks in, we still have the potato. Now, just because we didn't see the potato start to sprout, we go, oh, that potato's still good. But we shouldn't really have the potato in 2 weeks. We should have already went back and bought some more potato. So the thing is that, so onions release, I mean, I don't want to get too technical, but they release a certain element called ethylene, right? And that if you have your potato and your onions in the same space, that's going to cause your potatoes to actually sprout.
Yeah.
It not and also because potatoes have like their high moisture content. So that will also cause the onions to rot more quickly. So if you are going to have them in the fridge because of the situation with your apartment, then make sure you don't have them together. Because sometimes people cook something and they cut everything up and they go, well, I'm just going to put it all in one bag. So the next time I'm going to cook, it's already there. You don't want to do that.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And also, just to say to the other lady who was speaking, is that it's really hard because I also live alone and I try to buy the smallest fruit, the smallest onions possible so that I consume them. But sometimes it's just not that easy. I get that. But thank you for your response. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any questions?
That's true.
Yes, this is George State. I have my hands up. I don't know if you can see it. But I have a couple of questions. And one, again, is going back to the onion and garlic, because I do save the onion and garlic in what the airtight containers, but I put
Mm-hmm.
them in. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you could see. I have like a little green container. I don't know if you can see.
Yes. So
Yeah,
they
I
do
have a
sell,
few of those.
yeah, they do
Yeah.
sell some containers that, if they are airtight, that seems to work. But I'm really just encouraging people to try to buy what you need and to use it right away so that you don't have to worry about storing it for too long a period of time. So I know, people may not want to, if you go to BJ's, if you go to BJ's or Costco or Sam's Club and you have two people in your house, that is not the place you should be shopping, because the larger items that you're going to buy, you're not going to be able to use them all right away. You're thinking, I'm going to save myself a trip, a couple of trips, and it's less expensive. But in reality, you're going to end up losing, because a lot of times things are going to spoil. So again, with the onions, it's just that, when the onions, they're also like starches, and you don't want those starches to convert into sugar, which is what happens when the onion gets like soft and mushy. That's what's really happening. That's the process. So that's why you want to just keep them in a dry, cool, they say even a dark space, and that will prevent you from any spoilage. But if you have those containers that are airtight, then those also do work.
Okay, yes. And then my next question is regarding, I use this also for banana, because I am a diabetic, so I can't eat the whole. Can you hear me? Or yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I am a diabetic. So like when I eat a half a banana, I put the other one in the other half in a little container for the next day, and I put it in the fridge. Does that loses strength, or is
Yeah, you shouldn't put it in the fridge. You should just put it in a container and just leave it out. You're going to use it the next day. You shouldn't put it in the fridge.
okay? Thank you. And my last question, so I could give someone else a chance. I saw, I think it was the red fruits. You had the figs. But are the figs high in sugar, or is something that I don't have to worry about as a diabetic?
You have to worry about most fruits and vegetables. Figs do have a pretty high natural sugar content, unfortunately. But if you eat it in small amounts, the
Yeah.
wonderful thing is that um, figs are also high in fiber. So the quicker that your system can absorb what it needs to and get it out, that will be good. But the answer to the question is yes, figs are naturally high in sugar. So you want to be careful with it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now I know
So
you
really
want to
quickly,
do
yeah, really
a
quickly,
juice,
I'm
but I
just
do
going to
have
show
one
you
more
guys.
question.
I'm
Sorry,
going to,
you mentioned in the beginning that some things that you do in the morning to just jumpstart your stomach. Are there any advice you have, like ending the day that's more softer on the stomach as well before going to bed?
yes, ending the day, you want to stop eating by like 7 o'clock, because you want to give your digestive system. When we go to sleep, that's when our body is healing. So you don't want, when you go to sleep and you ate at 10 o'clock, that your body is trying to work harder on your digestion, as opposed to trying to heal other parts, other things in your body that it could pay more attention to. So stop eating by like 7 o'clock is one good thing. Drinking tea, and when I say tea, you can make like you could take almond milk or whatever type of milk you may like, rice milk, coconut milk, not oat milk. Please stay away from oat milk. Oat milk is a waste of time. It's very high in sugar, it's high in carbohydrates, and you can make your own milk. Please, just what you want to do is you want to watch what they are marketing. I'm very careful about when I see something being marketed too much, then I start to get a little leery. I've been using sea moss because, as I said, I come from a Caribbean background for years and years and years. Once CMOS started to get popular, I was like, oh boy. So I was like, you know what? It's time for me to start to find a new, another place or another, another type of CMOS, because now I'm not going to know where it's being sourced from. So I found some great purple CMOS only grown in St. Lucia. And then I felt safe by using CMOS because I'm like, I read all about it and I'm clear where it's sourced. We want to be careful about where things are sourced because the way they market things to us, people believe that they just go with, oh my God, it's healthy, so I'm just going to buy it. And that's not what you want to do. So, but if you drink some almond milk with a little bit of turmeric, if you can have turmeric, I know that people take medications that you don't want things to interact with. Anything that I've said, by the way, I'm not a doctor, but check with your doctor. I'm not telling anybody to get off your medication and only do this, but your goal is to change your diet so that you can stop taking those medications, because those medications are messing up your kidneys, which is your filter. And once your filter is damaged, then that leads to other problems. But if you drink a little warm almond milk with turmeric, or just some warm tea at night, put a little lemon if you like, and that'll just basically the last thing that you have, and your digestive system will be very happy that you didn't just eat steak and potatoes and drink a big glass of Minute Maid and then go to bed.
What about soursop?
Soursop is amazing. Soursop is amazing, not very easy to get, and it's also very expensive. But if you can get your hands on soursop, I love it. And I have some friends, when they go to Belize, I'm like, bring me back. They sell soursop. Be careful in the supermarket, right? In the frozen section, usually flat, it's white. Let's just say they tossed a little bit of soursop in there, so you're going to get the flavor, but that's not like, real soursop, what you're getting. To buy real soursop, they're selling it nowadays for like $8.99, $9.99 a pound. So one soursop could easily cost you 17, 18 bucks. Okay. But very, very good fruit, especially, well, everybody talks about it more now because they say that it has cancer fighting agents, but soursop has a lot of great properties.
And isinglass?
Isinglass. So the only time that people use isinglass is when, well, let me say this. Caribbean people, when they're making a drink called Irish moss.
Moss, yes.
Right. They use the isinglass. But here's the thing, when you're making Irish moss, you have to cook it, right? You have to boil all these items. What you want to do is consume all these things naturally. So if you want to make yourself some sea moss, stop buying the $20 bottle where they put some flavoring in it or something like that. Make it yourself. Buy the sea moss in the package, empty it out, put it in a big bowl. I mean, maybe not this size, but put it in a bowl, right? Put some water, soak it out, because sometimes it has debris in it, depending on where you got it from. Let it soak overnight, maybe 2 days, depending on how much debris is in it. Empty off the water, take some alkaline water in your blender. And now you're just going to put a little bit of sea moss, a little bit of water, blend it, put it into a jar like this, and then you have your own sea moss that you made yourself, minus all the other stuff that people are selling.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. A quick question also about leaves, like the fig leaves. I use the fig leaves to make tea. Do you? Hello?
So yes, you can use mango leaves. You can use guava leaves. You can use soursop leaves. They're making all these things more available now, especially if you go to like a Korean supermarket that will have Caribbean, Hispanic, and African products. So they are now making those things more available. But most of the fruits, the leaves, you can boil them and drink the tea. And then if you want to just add a little bit of ginger to it, if you're going to use ginger, by the way, please only use organic ginger. I don't necessarily promote all organic food, and this is what organic ginger looks like if you haven't seen it. So if you go into the supermarket and you see the big regular ginger, you see that, and that's like $1.99. And then you saw this and you're like, why is that $2.99? I'm not buying that ginger for $2.99. You want to buy the organic ginger because you get more bang for your buck. When you buy the other ginger, which Lord only knows where that's being sourced from these days, they just keep getting fatter and fatter. Anyway, the organic ginger, you use less of it and you get more. So you'll have to use more. So actually you end up saving money when you use the organic ginger than buying the regular ginger. And we want to put some ginger with your tea, or you want to put some lemon in your tea. And this is a great way to start to make your microbiome so happy in the morning, so that anything that you consume after that, it's going to help the digestive process. So again, why do we want to set the tone? Because what comes in, we want it to come right back out.
Wonderful.
So what I wanted to show you guys is a lot of people have gone to juicing and blending, and people typically don't understand that one, there is a difference, as well as to be careful in terms of when you are making juices. So one of the things that you want to do is, now this juicer, and I'm not a salesperson for this juicer. I was looking for a cold press juicer, and that's why I purchased this one. It's called the Nama. There are other cold press juicers, Curvings, but though Curvings and Nama, they're more the top of the line cold press juicers. Yes, you're going to see some juicers on Amazon and Temu and wherever else. And yes, they're less expensive, but you want to be careful with that, because if you want to juice like ginger, for example, or you want to juice beets, as I said, and you want the things that are more cruciferous, carrots, even if you want to do like kale, you want to know that you have a reliable motor that can break those things down. So why do you want a cold press juicer? Because cold press juicers move much more slowly. So when the juice process is happening, it's breaking down the fruits and vegetables in a much better way. So when you use a blender, for example, the blade is spinning very fast. There's an oxidation process that's happening when you are using a blender, as well as previous juicers. Like I started out using, my dad had bought a Jack LaLanne, and then I took it over and I started using that for a long time. And then I moved on to another brand called Breville, and I paid like $300 for that juicer. And then I was teaching a cooking and juicing class for organization on Saturdays, and I saw this juicer and I was like, well, I want it, but I don't want to pay the price tag. It was like $600 or so. And so I told them what I needed, and they were like, okay, fine, we'll buy it. I was like, oh, wow. So I was making juices there. And then when the program ended, I was like, now what am I going to do? So I had to buy my own juicer, but it has paid for itself, because one of the other great things is that regular juicers compared to cold press juicers, what you're going to get, so you have two ends. You have this side where your trash comes out of this spout, and then you have this side where your juice comes out. What you want more on this side than you want on the other side, because you want more juice. So you're going to get that. I'm going to show you very quickly that you're going to see that the pulp that comes out of of this juicer, especially if I put in like the kale, that it's going to extract much, much better. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some in there really quickly. You'll also notice that it's not as loud as a regular juicer because of the motor.
How
So
does that
turn
compare to the Vitamix? Because everyone always
so
talks
the
about
Vitamix,
Vitamix.
do you have a Vitamix blender?
No, I don't have one at all, but I know a lot of people that do have that.
So no, the Vitamix became a very popular blender because of the the motor and the blade could break things down better so that um like if you had beets or you had carrots, it would pulverize it. But the thing is that the faster, as I said, the faster the blade, then the more the oxidation process that's going on, it's going to extract uh it's going to give off more of what you need, right? Because in the process it's beating up the fruits and vegetables, so you're not getting now even though you put everything in the blender, so you're like, okay, I'm getting everything that's in the blender, as opposed to juicing where I'm losing something, but actually that's not necessarily the case. So the Vitamix is a very good blender, especially if you want to um, have the cruciferous items blended down very fine, then it's good for that. So just so that you can see, so this is the kale that's coming out on this side, and I just want you to see that it's super dry. And then most people are like, you can actually juice the kale. So on this side, I have, well, I haven't poured out the juice yet, but I have juice from the kale. A lot of juicers can't necessarily juice kale and spinach, but this juicer can. And so this green drink that I'm making tonight, it's a great detoxifier. Something else you guys want to know, there is a ratio of fruits and vegetables. You want to have no more than, you want to have 2 vegetables and 1 fruit. So again, a lot of times people are like, oh boy, I'm gonna just start juicing, and then they start juicing all the high sugar items, and then they get on the scale a week or two later and they're like, what's happening? This is not working. Well, that's because you are using too much high sugar items. So it's doing the opposite of what you really want done. So something else I want to just point out to you guys, if you're using pineapple, what is very important for you to use and not throw away is the middle. You want to use the core. This has the most nutrients. Does anyone know what nutrient that is unique in pineapple out of everything else?
Is that the bromelain?
That is correct. You did a
Hey,
problem.
okay.
Yes. Yes. So the bromelain, and so the core has a lot of this is where the most nutrients is. And so, um
Mm.
you want to talk about anti-inflammatory, digestive,
Hmm.
arthritis, this is what you want to do. So the core is really what you want to, so if you're going to juice or you're going to blend, you want to make sure that you use the core. Do not throw away the core. You can even eat the core. If you cut it up a little smaller, you can eat it because the middle is a little bit tougher. But for people that like have Caribbean backgrounds, or anybody here, if you've ever had sugar cane, which is also really really great to eat, high health, lots of health benefits, you definitely want to eat or drink the pineapple core. So just so that you guys can see.
Now, I see you're using the kale. I have an issue
Yes.
with my thyroid where I had to have part of my thyroid removed. So I was told I can't eat raw kale because of the goigens in it. So is there
Yes.
something else that I could use?
Oh, absolutely. Any green. As a matter of fact, if you buy your beets, right,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to throw this away either. You can
Oh,
either saute these greens or you can juice them. But you can use, if you can't do kale, you can use spinach. There are many
okay.
other dark leafy greens that are high in iron that you could use um, other than um, other than using spinach. And then, so this drink that I'm making tonight, if you guys want to write this down, this has kale, if you can use kale. This has pineapple. It has green apples. Why green apples? Because these have the least amount of sugar in them. So you want to use that, as well as it has some cucumbers. So the cucumbers, cucumbers are good for your skin, good for hydration, and I don't know if any. So take a look at this. This is a vegetable. It's green, and in the Caribbean we call it chocho.
Yeah,
Chocho.
chayote.
Yeah. Yeah,
Chocho, just for
chayote.
anybody
Uh-huh.
Chayote.
anybody
Yeah.
that's
Chayote.
Hispanic. Anybody that's
Spanish, yes.
Hispanic, it's chocho.
Uh-huh.
But
Chayote.
it's also known as, someone said it, I heard, chayote.
Chayote,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Chayote.
Chayote is low in sugar. It really doesn't have any flavor.
Chayote
Really,
and Christophen.
yes, exactly. But chayote is high in potassium, and it's really good if you want to help to lower your blood pressure. Then
Mm.
chayote is what you want to do. So you could just take some chayote with some pineapple and just make a drink just like that, and
Mm.
and you'd be good to go. So I said kale, I said green apple, I said cucumber, pineapple, chayote, as well as, don't ever forget to, you can use your herbs. So this is cilantro. I have some parsley here. You want to use those herbs when you put them in your juices. They take out the heavy metals in your body. So I use parsley, cilantro, and some organic ginger. And then the last thing for vitamin C that I use is some lemon. And yes, you use the lemon peel. All parts of the lemon is healthy.
Mm.
The inside, the white part, as well as the yellow skin. People typically use the yellow skin when they're doing zesting, but you want to use all parts of this, and know your drink is not going to taste like rind, but you're going to get what you need out of this. And so that is the green drink. Now you can take out some of the items in it if you don't want to use all of those items, or you can keep it the same. But this is a great high detox, high in iron, super high in vitamin C. Your everything has vitamin C. Your greens, your ginger, your pineapple, everything has vitamin C in it, and it's just a great drink. So again, I just want to show you, this is some of the pineapple as well as the kale, and it's dry. There's
Mm.
nothing. And if I show you in inside here, normally you'll see some juice, nothing. That's the difference between using a cold press juicer. When it extracts pretty much everything, and you're going to get it on the other side where you should.
And
So I want to thank you guys for allowing me to entertain you all with some of my favorite topics, food and health. And if you have any questions, if you have any organizations or churches that may want somebody to come and speak about health and wellness, I am more than available. It is at no cost to you because this is just what I do. So yeah, I really thank Cindy for the opportunity, and I hope
wow.
you guys I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. I don't know about anybody else, but this was just great. The blend, Cindy, is it possible to put the name of the blender in the chat and
The
Chef,
name of the juicer is
the
called the
juicer?
Nama, and the Nama, Nama, Nama.
Nama juicer.
Nama. And please, if you are making juices for yourself, stop storing your things in plastic containers.
Yeah.
Our bodies are have we're consuming we're consuming too much microplastic, right?
Mhm.
So you want to have glass containers.
I use the mason jars.
Right, use different size mason
Yeah.
jars, but
Hmm.
store your things in glass containers. Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you. I feel like I got one more question, but I'm not gonna hold you any longer.
No,
We'll
it's
have
fine.
you. Well, okay. I wanted to ask you, I know that it's big to go natural, but what do you feel about vitamins? You mentioned how, pills and medication
Mm.
take a toll on your kidneys. So what do you feel about vitamins?
So what I say about vitamins is, unfortunately, the way our food quality is today, we're not going to get every single thing. And as
Hmm.
healthy as I try to be, I try to go to the gym 5 days a week. I try to eat right as much as possible, but we're not going to consume all of what we're supposed to. We're supposed to consume a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of fiber, and we're just with the kind of the food quality these days, we're not able to do that. But if you are going to buy vitamins, I want to say not all vitamins are created equal. So if you're going to invest in vitamins, invest in better quality vitamins, right? And what do I mean by that? So if you're going to take magnesium, for example, so there are all types of magnesium, and magnesium does a lot of great things for our bodies. Again, you can look that up, but specifically, you want magnesium glycinate, and especially magnesium can help you in terms of sleep. So I buy this magnesium, right? It's by a company called BioEmblem, and I try to catch it when it's like pretty good price. Now, why I buy this one specifically is because it's a triple complex, so it has three types of magnesium. It doesn't just have magnesium glycinate, right? So it has the malate, the glycinate, and the citrate. And as well as you want to look on the bottle where it says high absorption. You want to take vitamins that your body can absorb quickly so that it can make good use of it, as well as people started taking fish oil because they don't
Hmm.
feel like they get enough omegas, right? So
Hmm.
I do take fish oil, but I take krill oil. So again, feel free to do your research. I just research different things, and so I switch up and I take one set of things, then I'll switch because your body always just gets accustomed to. After a while, your body will get accustomed to things. So you should take vitamins because you're not going to get everything that you need in just your food supply. So you are going to have to take some vitamins, but um just be mindful, like don't try to take vitamin B tablet, vitamin D tablet, magnesium, B12, omega-3 fish oil, like if you watch too many infomercials, before you know it, you got about 12 vitamins in your house and you're like, yep, this is going to make me healthy. And you don't realize that one thing may be canceling out something else. Yes, I can definitely put that in the chat. But again, if you're going to buy vitamins, I'm not, everyone has a budget that they know that what they can afford. But if you're going to buy something, make sure you buy the things that are better quality because they're really doing something for you as opposed to like, I don't want to down like Nature's Promise, for example, but not a good
Mm-mm.
vitamin.
No.
So yes, I'll definitely put that in the chat. So if anybody, has, again, Cindy has my information. If anyone ever wants to reach out to me for any information, I make myself as available as possible.
Thank you so much. We need to have you back for a series or something,
Oh, yes.
something more. Thank you. You know what you are talking about. Greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
Everyone, just please bear with me. I'm just gonna do the raffle now. But we greatly appreciate you, Chef
Oh,
Steph. Thank you.
can I send you my name,
Thank you.
Cindy? I didn't put my name in.
Yeah, I already put it in. You
Oh, okay, thanks.
stop it. Okay. Just 1 second, everyone. And check if I missed anyone, but I think I got everybody. It got to be great information because we usually end at 8 and everybody stayed on.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yes.
I could stay on for another hour.
So my mom came in the room. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I was like, "Okay."
Really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sharing the screen now. And that nom is really good. I got one. I paid it down. It's expensive. It is expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Okay. Am I missing anyone? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I don't see mine.
That's a
Who?
cute
What
little
name? What
mini
name? Tell
raffle.
me.
Judith Paul.
Thank you. Anybody else? Am I missing anyone else?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Someone put Joanne Kelly in the chat.
Anyone else? All right, we ready to call? Okay, good. I'm clicking in the middle. I have nothing to do with the who the wheel picks, okay? So one, I don't know why I put a H. I know it's a G, but are you
Yeah.
still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Y'all know Cindy. I saw it. It's okay.
Remove. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Judith P.
Okay, one more. Susan, my dog in the back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Yes,
Vicky.
awesome. Awesome. Okay, so congrats to all of the winners. I did put in the chat the event that Chef Steph did mention. It is powerful if you can do that screening that they do. I know of a person who did last year in an event that we did and found out that they had an overactive thyroid. And the fact was they had an overactive thyroid for months. They didn't get the booklet in the mail until a while after, but when it was diagnosed, it showed it when she first did the screening months ago. So it's really important to have that history because the doctors are not doing those screenings on the regular. That just shows some of the stuff that could be coming up in your body. Sorry, just 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's how come I have to end up getting my thyroid removed because no one ever checks your thyroid.
They don't check it, and some people can go for a long time suffering with symptoms that they don't know why, and that because they're not testing those things. So it's a really great test, and like she said, it's a $900 worth of exams for free. For completely free, and you could take them to your doctor and say, "Hey, you haven't been doing your job, but I'm helping you out today."
Exactly. Right? I always tell people nothing goes from stage 1 to stage 5 overnight.
That's right.
Something is happening, and it's just that when you go to the doctors, half the time they're not even listening. And so you want to be able to go to them, like she said, with the booklet. And most of the doctors say to people when they bring their booklet, "Oh, where did you get this from?" Yeah. because this is not what you're going to do. So this is what we want to do. So anyone that you know that may be interested, as I said, they can either attend our event or I could send them to the nearest quest nearest to their home. And all I have to do is register them on the Quest site. And then they go and I don't see the results. I've done my job by offering them the screening and that's it.
Oh,
So
really?
you
Okay, I
guys,
must have came in after you spoke about that.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I
Yeah,
can
there's a-
drop it in again. So, but it's definitely in the chat. I dropped it in there twice. We want to encourage everyone to stay connected with the partnership. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at East Flatbush Partnership. Visit our website at eastflatbushpartnership.org. If you want to email us, you contact us at ef@jccany.org, or you can call or text 347-675-7810. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and we look forward to you joining us next month again on the second Thursday. I believe it's April 9th.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
evening,
thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye,
Thank you.
Blessed
everyone.
night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.